Jonny Mitchell, welcome to the University of Huddersfield.
Thank you, John.
You've come here today to give a careers talk to our trainee teachers.
Yeah.
Tell us, what do you look for in a teacher when you're recruiting? What makes a perfect teacher?
Well, a perfect teacher I've yet to meet. Everybody's still learning all the time. It doesn't matter how long they've been in the profession. I think it's important that everybody continues to develop. But I think there are three things that I look for in particular when I'm recruiting to any position, be that as an NQT or be that as a deputy head teacher. The first one is human relationships. It's all about personality. It's all about an ability to hook someone in. It's ability to engage people, talk to them on the right level, use the right register, have a good sense of humour. The second thing would definitely be an abundance of emotional intelligence, whatever we infer by emotional intelligence, i.e. when we're dealing with young people, it's an ability to tap into their motivations, inspire them, but it's also to remember that whatever happens and however poorly a kid may behave, it's about making sure that you remember that you're the adult and the professional in the relationship. So always bearing in mind how you act and how that can have an impact on other people. And thirdly, and perhaps less important of the three, but still important, is for them to know what they're talking about in a classroom. And you might find that a bit ironic that I think that subject knowledge and an ability to pass on that knowledge comes only third to the other two, but I do firmly believe that, and some of the most successful teachers I have worked with have been good people who've been able to inspire, motivate, dynamise, if you like, young people so that they are motivated to learn and find out more. Because, as we've said, teachers can continue to learn and develop their own expertise and practice over time. The kids in a secondary school in particular get just 5 years to hone that.
And you've been a teacher now for many years.
A few.
What do you enjoy most about the job? Not being a head teacher, I'm talking about teaching, because you'll still do it.
I teach,
what motivates you?
I teach a little bit still. I've been teaching now, this is my 14th year in the profession.
What's your subject?
I'm a French and German teacher by trade. Teach very little German now, as most schools don't. Spanish seems to be on vogue at the moment. But I can still turn my hand to it, and I still do a little bit and teach a little bit of English. I think it stands to reason that anybody entering the profession will share this with me, but it's being with young people. It's seeing them achieve, be that academically or emotionally and socially, because I think that's really important. And the schools that I've chosen to work in, or the schools that have chosen me to work in them, have all shared something, and it's about that passion for young people's development. And I still get a kick out of that. I still get a kick out of seeing a kid who's having a hard time at home find a niche, find a safe haven at school, and that to be able to nurture them to achieve. I also get a kick still out of a kid getting an A star when they've worked really, really hard to get there. But it's the same kick that I get when a kid achieves a D when they were expected to get an E at the end. So it's the motivation part. Do you know what? And I think more teachers nowadays are seeing this. It's about developing good relationships and good bonds with students and making sure that they've got good self-esteem and good self-awareness. And then I'm pretty well quoted on saying this. My motivation of being in education in the first place is to make sure that kids are not just academically equipped, but socially equipped to enter the real world, which ain't a nice place by and large. And they need to be ready, they need to be resilient, they need to be tolerant, they need to be generous, they need to be humble. That's my motivation for being in education, and was 14 years ago when I started, and still is now.
And would you like to go back to teaching more, given that you have this head teacher role?
I think maybe give it another year, because obviously it's been a pretty busy 2 years for us with all manner of things going on that don't normally happen to schools and head teachers and what have you. I do want to go back in the classroom, and I do still help out, even in classes that are nothing to do with me. I go in and do a bit of TA support. I go and do cover teaching if we've got a member of staff away for any reason. So I still keep my hand in the classroom. I would like to go back, but I think most people would be relatively discerning in that a head teacher's got a busy role, and having a committed timetable can sometimes be difficult when all manner of other things crop up. So I'd love to. Slightly impractical at the minute. Hopefully in a couple of years that will settle.
The University of Huddersfield, inspiring tomorrow's professionals.